Hey everyone, happy April. It's April 7th, 2017, and I'm Christina Hemming, just coming to you with a little update on yesterday's Syria strike and what the energy is looking right now for the United States anyway. The United States has a Sagittarius rising in sidereal perspective, which is like when you go outside and you look up at the sky. That's actually sidereal. Western is 24 degrees behind or in front. Anyway, USA has Sagittarius rising and moon in Aquarius. And right now, Saturn is transiting the ascendant. It's in Mula Nakshatra, which means to dig up from the roots. And it's conjunct the galactic plane. And funnily enough, Saturn was in the same position in 1929 and 1987 when the stock markets made some intense corrections. So we have that same aspect happening now. Uranus is also conjunct a fixed star called Aldebaran in the sky, and that's the eye of the bull. And Mars right now is coming up to that time. So there could be a lot of unsettled energy this month, a feeling of unease, dis-ease, and also 5 planets are going to be retrograde at this time. Mercury's going retrograde in a couple of days, and then there'll be Jupiter and Saturn and Venus and Mercury all retrograde, and maybe even Neptune. But I won't talk too much about Neptune, although it is on the USA moon. More importantly, the transiting South Node has been on the moon, which is why it's been such a loss for women's rights, equality, water rights, the stream inflow change where you can now dump your wastewater directly into streams, the gutting of the EPA, the Clean Water Act, healthcare. All of that is like the moon nurturing, and the South Node has been there, so it's been a big sucking sound. And unfortunately, the wisdom of the past is not being applied to the present, and so hence the feeling of being drained. On the other end, the North Node, or Rahu, is in the USA 8th house here in my chart, and it's conjunct Regulus. So the transiting moon right now is with the North Node today, April 7th, and it's on the fixed star Regulus. And I'm feeling like maybe that's why President Trump seems to have this sort of Teflon aspect to him right now. He has Leo rising, so right now the North Node, or Rahu, is on his ascendant and Mars, and Moon is there today and tomorrow. Perhaps this will bring us a bit of a more compassionate side of him, or an ego-centered, manipulative person, which he is born with Sun, Uranus, North Node, Mercury all conjunct. So obviously, I'm sorry, Mr. President, but you have a propensity for being an ego-centered bully and not really seeing you need to meditate more and be more conscious. You've got Moon conjunct South Node in your chart, Mr. President Trump, and therefore you think you know it all about being in tune, but you don't. You need to sit down and meditate. So that means that in Donald Trump's chart, the South Node has been going through his 7th house, which hasn't been great for his relationship, and it's going into his 6th house. So my prediction is Donald Trump will be getting sick. And also the schedule is just too grueling for him. His health is just not up for it. And he's going to go through a lot of changes at home. It's going to be hard. So moving on. So for the USA, the Rahu is 8 places from the ascendant. So there's a lot of changes afoot, and I really wish that the powers would get conscious and care for the earth, care for the water. Enough about that. Okay, so Saturn's on the ascendant. Mars is moving up to conjunct Uranus and Aldebaran, a fixed star, an eye of the sign of Taurus, and it looks over to the other side of Antares, opposite that. And I read something last night that in ancient times, Antares was like the enemy of Aldebaran, and Antares is ruled by Mars, so Mars is kind of having an oppositional energy the next couple of weeks. So let's be careful about being too oppositional. We need to take energy in, digest it, respond to it in a non-reactive way, keep our stress down. Moon conjunct North Node in anybody's chart these days, wherever your Leo house is. We need to take care of our heart. We need to be more nurturing and not just cut off energy, cut off our own feelings. We don't need to indulge. Try to watch out for the obsessive compulsive cycle, or the always talking about me, constantly processing. Stay focused on your heart and your generosity, and share that with your fellow man. Let's see. Oh, look at that. You know, the USA has Saturn conjunct Spica, which is so lucky, and Jupiter is transiting there right now, so no wonder the stock market's at an all-time high. I keep feeling like it's going to burst at any moment, but somehow there's a lot of wealth and ideals that are being projected onto the structure. Now, whether or not that's actually going to last a long time, as we know, there's been a huge printing of the monetary levels, and we should have been seeing pretty high inflation and high interest rates at this point, but somehow it doesn't seem to be happening. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it should have already been happening. The Mars coming up to the Uranus with the Aldebaran, that fixed star, and then it's going to be conjuncting through May and then into June. Mars will be conjuncting its own Mars, and then it's going to go over Venus, Jupiter, Sun, Mercury. So it's going to be kind of an intense summer. I would say that now is only the beginning of the uneasiness that you're feeling. So I would, I guess I'm going to take a stance of trying to ride the wave here, doing my best, not getting too obsessed about things, but also following intuition and yeah, you know, no one wants to predict that anything bad is going to happen. But I'll just say this. There's not going to be a shortage of testosterone assertiveness in the next several months as Mars marches through Taurus, Gemini, and into Cancer, where it will be debilitated, and then on the North Node of the USA. So, yeah, there's going to be, it's going to be a very busy summer. And there's going to be some interesting things with women, at least for the USA chart. There's a lot of exaggerated energy right now, and it's just going to become more exaggerated as the summer goes. I just kind of put it that way, because with Mars on its own natal Mars of the USA chart, then Venus, and then Jupiter, for the USA, it's going to be a very busy time. Maybe I should just look at a chart that's not just the USA. Let me go back up here, and I'll just do the Syria thing. Bombing last night on the airports, for lack of a better thing, people don't need to suffer anymore. That country has been bombed for way too long. There's too much needless suffering, and I really hope that the proxy war that's happening with Russia in Syria, along with Saudi Arabia and Iran, let's see what's going on. Okay, so at the time, I have 3 a.m., April 7th. 3 a.m. Oh, I have Thursday, April 6th. I should really change that. Edit birth data. April 7th. I just put down Damascus. I've been working on a painting about Damascus for 15 years, since 9/11. It's finally coming to fruition. This Saturn conjunct the galactic plane is key right now, and we all need to be doing more to stay grounded and in tune with our responsibilities, and bringing the energy up. Yeah, I think this is going to be a game changer for Trump. I think it's going to be a game changer for all of us. And of course, it's really only the beginning of the drone, the sort of secretive, aggressive energy that comes out of nowhere. And I think right now we're really putting a lot of frosting on a lot of different realities, and Moon conjunct Regulus and the North Node. There's been a lot of luck, and a lot of feeling of optimistic, and also a lot of ego energy being, glorified. Are we glorifying brutality and bully might? Or are we really trying to guide and create a better world, better gardens, better food, better empowerment, better respect for everyone? And right now, that respect has been really eroded, and people are feeling very eccentric and unique. Sun is conjunct Uranus right now. So there's a lot of unstable energy. There's also a lot of genius energy happening right now. And if you're someone in the medical or math field or the computer industry, this is an excellent time to express, or for anybody to express, their unique personality and their empowerment, combining like feelings and art. Uranus is at 29 degrees Pisces, so anytime a planet's at a 29 degree time, it really takes it on. So it's like, in a way, we really need to spend time channeling our unique genius energy out inside, and then out into the world. There's a lot of people making money right now. It's a really lucky time. But then what do we do with that money? How do we actually take care of each other? And with Mars coming up to Aldebaran, and that's going to be kind of intense. I just would like people to focus on cleaning up the air and the water and helping each other versus continuing an ancient patriarchal war. This kind of energy has been going on, since the Crusades. And, we don't need to go back to 1550 or 1465. We don't need to go back there. We need to do things differently. But that also means that we need to be taking more responsibility in our lives and being more generous to ourselves and to others without being too ego-centered or compulsive. So, you guys, take it easy. And that's all for today. Aloha.